losing my voice. Humans have been conveying information with giant pieces of artwork and text behind them since the beginning of the civilization. Heck, even the beginning of the human race. That's what differentiates us from the monkeys, is the fact that some caveman, some Neanderthal, thousands and thousands of years ago said, hey, I want to share about this experience of me killing a mammoth. And I'm going to put it out on the wall, and every single time one of my friends or family comes over to my cave, I'm going to tell them about that time I killed a mammoth. And everybody else probably thought it was a good idea, until they were probably sick of hearing his mammoth killing story. So they killed him and then made a cave painting about the time they killed the guy who was annoying about his mammoth story. And we evolved that idea. Churches have these beautiful stained glass that sit behind a presenter as they share the stories of Jesus Christ and other religious deities. We have all sorts of beautiful paintings that are the backdrops of different stories. And then things changed with technology. We started making projectors, and we were starting to be able to change the pictures behind us. And some of you guys remember the 60s and 70s when you would have the slide carousels, and your aunt would make you watch her beach vacation, slide by slide, in excruciating detail for 1965. And you were like, why would you do this to me? And for a long time, we didn't like that. But then a man came along named Steve Jobs, and he presented things in PowerPoint. Beautiful slides that changed behind you on a beautiful screen. Oh, the day that Steve Jobs came out with his turtleneck, and he said, today we are changing the world with the iPhone. Not the iPhone 4 or anything, the original iPhone. Seems like a millennia ago, but we still look at those pictures of him, and he has this beautiful PowerPoint behind him with the iPhone, and he's holding it in his hands, and he's under beautiful stage lights, and we say, I'm going to be him. And that is wrong, because you are presenting at 8 o'clock in the morning about how you are down on your sales from last quarter. Or you are like me, who's a student who's on their, I don't even know anymore, PowerPoint. And you were staring at a screen, and you said, oh my gosh, if I do another PowerPoint, I'm going to cover myself in gasoline and set myself on fire. Why are we doing so many? And I looked at the screen and said, there's got to be another way. And there is. I think we just forgot about them. We now use PowerPoints as a crutch to prop ourselves up and use it as a guide on our presentations. It's really sad to me that we think this way, because I think about how people would communicate without the use of a PowerPoint. I think about comedians like Robin Williams, who commanded a stage and an audience with just his emotions, just his body and voice. He would be over here, and he'd be screaming about golf. And he would be over here, and he would be screaming about politics. And he would be down on the floor and up in the air, and he would change his voice. And then you would get to the end of the night, and you'd be like, man, I just paid a lot of money to see a crazy guy run around the stage. But he told beautiful stories. Beautiful, beautiful stories. And made us laugh until we couldn't breathe. And it's like, how did he do that? Well, we forget that 60 or more % of communication is nonverbal. It's the way we speak. It's the way we move. It's the way we look at people and approach them, walk away. And I think it's a shame that we use PowerPoint so much now. We take away that human connection and say, look at a screen, don't look at me. I'm not saying that props or different visual aids don't help you. I think about the magic they can bring. Walt Disney became Uncle Walt to the United States of America through his broadcasts of the show Disneyland, or the Mickey Mouse Club. It changed its names a couple times, but he would have segments where it was Uncle Walt. And he would get really close and he would sit and talk personally, or he'd walk away and he would point at different models of Disneyland and attractions and tease you for the next thing. And sometimes he'd go up and he would point at a beautiful map of Epcot and say, this is where Disney World's going to be. Or maybe he would be over here and he would paint a beautiful picture of how we make movies, make cartoons. And it felt personal. It felt non-digital. But yet it was probably one of the most commercialized things there is. And I want that emotion. I want that magic. I'm not saying that you can't get that with PowerPoint. We felt that when Steve Jobs came out and unveiled the iPhone. And I'm not saying that every single presentation needs to have the manic energy of Robin Williams. And let's be real here. It's hard to become the nation's uncle like Disney did. But what I am saying is maybe, just maybe, we should think about different ways of presenting and engaging with people, looking them in the eyes, walking up to them, and walking back, changing our voice, memorizing presentations, being able to improvise presentations, the human element that brings us together, back and forth. I think we sometimes use PowerPoint to distance ourselves when we should be using PowerPoint to enhance ourselves. Thank you.